Oh, what is,
Oh, that is a cute little dog.
what is that creature?
Dude, you better be careful. Trump may deport that dog.
No, it's okay. I got my papers. I'll just there. It's a work visa.
The rats in Fort Smith have grown so much.
It's a sewage system, dude. It's terrible. They're just allowed to evolve down there.
Well, Edrick, welcome to the Partially Cooked podcast, man. Thank you so much for doing this and being here. For anybody watching for the first time, don't really know what the show is. Every month we get a list of comics and we interview them to find out interesting things about their lives. And then at the end of the month, we have a no-holds-barred roast battle to see who can walk away the champion. Edrick is hailing from Fort Smith. Is that correct? You're still in Fort Smith?
Sir. Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's where I'm based at right now.
Hell yeah. And what do you do for a living, Edrick? How are you paying the bills?
I am a cook and a server at a restaurant. I kind of double dip, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook? Mm-hmm. Man, that's an interesting one. I like cooking chicken a lot. I'm a big chicken guy because, like, it's pretty versatile. Like, I'll grill it, deep fry it, and then, depending on, like, what I'm in the mood for. Like, ground beef is okay. You could be just as versatile, but it's like really greasy. So, yeah. And I don't like feeling sick eating food while I'm making food. It's like, it's not a good chain reaction.
Oh, so like just the act of cooking it makes you feel sick because it's so greasy?
Nah, it doesn't make me feel sick.
You just eat with your eyes on the
first.
Burger. You're eating.
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
You eat with your eyes first, like you're kind of tasting it before you taste it. It looks greasy.
Yeah, I'm a big visual guy when it comes to food.
Yeah.
If it doesn't look good, like I'll still try it. I'll just question it. But maybe it's because I've been spoiled. Maybe it's because of like the restaurants I've worked. But I think presentation is a big thing, especially and I think that still applies to food.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna ask you some hopefully interesting questions, try to get to know you a little bit better. What is the most regrettable thing you have searched online recently? Or embarrassing? Maybe not regrettable. Maybe the most embarrassing thing you've had to Google recently.
Yeah, Chase pulled up his search history, and he just was like...
Let's see. The most embarrassing thing. I'm looking at my Google right now. I guess Carafun. Looking up a catalog of karaoke songs to sing. It's super dorky. But yeah, sometimes I want to be prepared before I sing karaoke. And you're serious when you pull up like the system. Like, I don't know if you've used Carafun before.
No, I haven't.
So there's like some karaoke systems where there's an online like website where you could pull up all the songs they have available. Mm-hmm. So that going up to the KJ, like, do you have this song by this English rock band from the 70s?
How amateur.
Okay.
How amateur. You got,
Oh, so you're like a pro.
Yeah, I know exactly. Depending on if they're going rock, I know I have a set list. If they're going country, I have a set list. Rap, I have a very specific set list, but yes, I have rap as well.
Nice.
How long have you been doing karaoke?
I was literally raised on it, dude. I mean, I'm Filipino, so that's kind of a given.
Okay.
But I literally remember, like, the first karaoke song I sang was when I was like 4 or 5. My mom brought me to this Filipino party with all my aunts and uncles and stuff, and she had me sing karaoke. And my first karaoke song, this was in South Korea. I was born in South Korea. Mm-hmm. Was Boot Scootin' Boogie.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's just me at 4 and 5 in South Korea singing Boot Scootin' Boogie, nailing a 96 out of 100 on the karaoke machine. And that's when we knew that we were moving to Arkansas.
Oh,
it's like, all right, we're ready. We're good.
Actually, yeah, if you want to move to Arkansas, you have to get in the 90th percentile on Boot Scootin' Boogie, or we won't let you in.
Right. That's on the papers. Was the
you
karaoke
get 3
machine...
strikes on the line dance.
Yeah.
Was the karaoke machine in English or in Korean?
It was in English, yeah.
I would love to hear Boot Scootin' Boogie in Korean. That would be really fucking funny.
That'd be so fun. And like in Korean subtitles, and also I don't know if you've seen these old karaoke machines, but there's always like a beach or some kind of some kind of background montage that doesn't match the song at all.
Yeah.
So singing Boot Scoot and Boogie in the middle like of a safari was pretty fun.
That's a great answer, man.
Yeah,
all right. What is the weirdest or most regrettable message you've ever sent someone?
Oh, all right. Off the top of my head. Oh, I hate this question. When I was in high school, right, I had a huge crush on this Asian girl in my class, and we would like nerd out about anime and stuff. And I developed a huge crush on her at some point. I got her number, and I got so excited. I sent her "I like you" in Japanese. I was like "daisuki desu," and then nothing. I got ghosted, and then at school she wouldn't like look at me for a second. I was like, "Wait, what did I do wrong?" She's like, "Hey, you're fine. It's just that was really awkward, and I didn't know."
I'm not Japanese.
I'm kidding you, baka.
Was she Japanese?
That was probably the most regrettable. No. You just nerded out about Japanese.
Gotcha.
I'm Filipino. She's Cambodian. We nerded out about Japanese stuff. And I'm like, all right, this will get her. I'll use my short knowledge of Japanese words to get this girl.
Man, we've all been
there. It made
marching
band very weird.
Man, you missed out on entering into the donut dynasty with a Cambodian girl, dude.
The donut dynasty. They do have a lot of donut stores.
Hey, bro, they're all owned by Cambodians. If it ain't a Krispy Kreme, it is owned by a Cambodian, and you can put your money on it, baby. Maybe that's my most bigoted. It's not even a bigoted opinion. It is real. That is real. Speaking of, what is your most bigoted opinion, Edrick?
The most bigoted one?
Yeah, what's that one you're worried about getting canceled for?
This may be bigoted. I don't think it's that much of a problem, but I generally don't think white people should make sushi. I work. Okay, so I worked as a sushi chef for a little bit, and the thing is, like, I learned how to make sushi in Arkansas, and I was like, I don't know if you know. I don't think it's known as the sushi capital of the world, but it's like I'm making it, and I'm doing a pretty good job, and then we hire people when we need help. So I'd work with like white guys trying to make sushi.
Yeah.
And when you have trouble with just the rice, I think you should just leave it alone, because that's a big foundational part of sushi. It's like, hey, I'm going to make biscuits and gravy, but the biscuits are ass. Is that okay? No, that's like foundational.
Right.
I didn't know I was livid about this.
No, I'm okay
but also
with you,
commercially, like, I don't think like people should be making sushi at home, especially if you're buying like a sushi mold when you're just stuffing it into a piece of plastic. I don't think you should be shoving food into anything. That's just my opinion, though.
I'm shoving a lot of food in
unless it's your mouth.
Yeah.
You can shove it into your mouth.
Yeah.
I agree. If I
That's
go into a
about it.
sushi place and I see a white dude's making the sushi, I'm like, well, I guess we're doing Burger King.
I'm not eating that sushi yet.
I don't know.
If it looks like a guy named Homer,
Right.
I'm not like, I don't really trust this.
Or Aiden, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Chad.
No Tylers.
Hi. My name's Aiden Des, and I'm gonna make some sick sushi, yo.
Right. He's live streaming for some reason. Like, fucking. Thanks for the likes. This one's a spicy tuna.
So, Edrick, you told us about the weirdest or most regrettable message you've ever sent someone, but what is the most disastrous date you've ever been on?
The most disastrous date?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting. I've been on a few dates. I mean, I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years now, and I went on a few dates before her, but I wasn't into the... Okay, I will say the most awkward one I was on was to a froyo place with this girl who was in this, like, our friend group. And I had a crush on her. I was like, hey, do you want to get some froyo? And she was like, sure, that'll be fun. And then we go there, and we literally have nothing to talk about. I'm like trying to ask her what her interests are, and like it just doesn't match up with mine. She's like, oh, I love like makeup and stuff. I want to be like a cosmetologist. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Inside your
Do you watch anime? Because Dice yes, dude. And it's just didn't match out. And, just because we had mutual friends, I thought we'd be cool.
Yeah.
And, I think she stopped showing up to because we had movie nights, and I think she stopped showing up a little bit just to make it. I think I made a lot of girls awkward. I think.
Hey, man, that's part of growing up.
Yeah, let me make you sushi. I was gonna be. But yeah, I think that's probably the most disastrous one. So it's not too bad. It was just awkward.
Yeah. What's the dumbest purchase you've ever made?
The dumbest purchase I've ever made. I bought a lot of things. I mean, I remember the first purchase I ever made as a teenager when I first had a job, and I had my own money. I was like, I could buy whatever I want. I don't even have to ask my mom. And I bought a 7-foot beanbag. I don't regret this purchase at all. This beanbag stuck with me for 4 years. It was a 7-foot beanbag, and I was a big guy, so it just looked like a beanbag on top of a beanbag, and it was so. It was like a double-decker ice cream every time.
Yeah,
it was like a navy blue beanbag. So if I had a navy blue hoodie, it just looked like one mass. I was like a 300-pound dude.
No shit, you were 300 pounds.
I was the biggest I was 360. So yeah, I was a big guy.
God damn, man, what happened? How did you? First of all, congratulations on losing that weight, because
I appreciate
that must have been hell trying to get that off.
It was interesting. I just kind of just started working out and just looking into diets and stuff, because when I first lived on my own, I didn't know how to cook for myself. Mm-hmm. And once I started looking up food that was kind of better for me, I started taking interest in my health. Going to the gym and stuff. I've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years. Now, it wasn't all at once.
Right.
I lost 100, then I gained 60, then I lost 40. So it just fluctuated depending on how my life was at the time.
Yeah.
But it was always something that let me control this. Let me, let me not look like a beanbag. So, that was just a goal. Step 1, don't look like a beanbag. Just at least a sofa. Look like you have some bones under there, at least.
Bones are important.
I just kept going after that.
Bones help. It explains why you like the chicken more. It's cleaner. It's a little bit, it's better for you in general. Yeah, you can lose a lot of weight just living off chicken.
But I do love burgers though, and I'm really bad with fast food. One of my worst habits is I'll do this in one night multiple times. I'll get McDonald's, and then I'm still kind of hungry, so I'll be eating the McDonald's while in line at a Taco Bell.
That's
no joke.
That's called a bang bang.
Yeah, that's how you get 360 pounds.
That's a bang bang right there.
Bang bang.
Eat a whole meal and then go eat another whole meal. Really, you're supposed to sit down at the restaurant and get sides and get an appetizer. But I'll accept that. That's a Fort Smith.
No, I just want to sit in my car with my shame. No server should have to clean up after that mess. Even if there was a restaurant that gave you burgers and tacos, I'd hate to be the person to serve both dishes at the same time. It's just
to one lonely guy just sitting in a booth by himself.
Yeah, just buddy, you want to hang out sometime? Let me take this away.
I'm going to Applebee's after this.
What is the... Speaking of dumb purchases, what is the dumbest thing you think you did in your 20s?
The dumbest thing I think I did in my 20s?
You still in your 20s?
I'm 28, so I'm going to try to beat it, but I think...
You're going to get through this.
The dumbest thing I've done... I have a bit about this, and I've talked about it before, but the dumbest thing I've done was probably get blacked out drunk, drive to IHOP somehow, and get arrested in the bathroom.
What'd you get arrested for?
Public intox.
You were just drunk in an IHOP bathroom? Yeah,
I was just blacked out drunk in an IHOP bathroom, I guess. I don't know if I was I was probably belligerent. Mm-hmm. I remember ordering a lemonade and going can I get a lemonade? And then going to the bathroom. This is going to be the best pancakes. And I woke up.
I'll make my own lemonade. I forgot how to do that.
All I remember was before I got to the drunk tank, I got sober really quick. I was my arm on the toilet. I was on the ground and then I see the stall door open with 3 police officers standing there. Like, boys, is this a party? So they escort me out, and I remember asking, like, what am I getting arrested for? And the cop was like, public intox. I was like, that makes sense. That actually makes perfect sense.
That tracks.
And
It's like, oh, good.
wait, could I get my lemonade to go?
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse.
But yeah, I think that's probably the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing before that was going to a bar drunk with a Sharpie and telling strangers to just ride on me. I thought that'd be like a fun social experiment at like 22. Like, let's see how we can connect with people artistically. What will their draw? And it was a lot of dicks.
Yeah, it's just all dicks.
Nothing but, how was I not surprised?
And slurs.
Dicks and slurs.
I got one number, but I was sweaty and I rubbed it off. So I was like, well.
Ah, tragic.
Damn.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was drawn on by someone who drew a dick, so I'm not sure if I was interested.
Yeah.
Like, they put it right next to the dick. Like, if you want this, call this.
To see the other inch. Call this number. Edrick, you're such a likable dude. Like, watching you on stage, the crowd, just you see their shoulders relax. They're like, oh yeah, the show started. I love it. What is a time on stage that you can think of that you've had you bombed, or it's just like the most embarrassing moment? You think about it before you fall asleep at night. You know what I mean?
I'm really glad you asked this question. I thought about this today. Actually, it was just out of nowhere.
Of course you did. You probably think about it every day.
Yeah, I was at work. I wasn't even thinking about the podcast. I was just like, oh, remember that bomb? That was really bad. This was, I think, a couple months last year. It was like fairly recent, maybe 3 months. There was a comedy competition in Fayetteville.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of the competition got to perform for Uncle Laser from Kill Tony.
Okay. I remember this was like last year.
This was the last year. So they had the competition. I was like, oh man, this will be fun. It's 3-minute sets. And I invited my girlfriend to come with me because, she was kind of like bored. I wanted her to be there to support me at the competition. She doesn't go to shows often. So I was like, hey, go ahead and come with me.
Yeah.
So she comes along on a show she usually doesn't come to. And then I go there. People are bombing left and right. The crowd is like pretty tight still. And my girlfriend knows I'm funny. So she's like, I think you got this. I'm like, I think I do. But for some reason in my mind, I thought it would crush with new jokes I thought that day on a 3-minute set in a competition. Like, I was like brainstorming, like, this is so funny. And I treated the competition like an open mic. Big mistake.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
So the joke that I bombed on, the premise was about judo being in the Special Olympics.
Judo?
Judo being in the Special Olympics.
The Special Olympics has judo as an official sport. And I went up there, mentioned it. Like, can you imagine judo with those boys with that strength? I was very Shane Gillis in my delivery. I was like, I don't know, just like talking about how funny it'd be. Like, everybody has a black belt, but when they walk in, they're holding onto each other's black belts. And like on a train, when they bow, they headbutt.
Yeah, I can imagine that not going over well in Fayetteville.
No, and then like I was like, you have to be careful with who you hug at a judo competition because one wrong hug, you're getting slammed on the floor, dude. Like, and then I thought it was funny that like it was. Thank you. There was a stalemate with 2 autistic kids who didn't want to touch each other. Like, it was just a draw.
Yeah. What's it called when you like sensory? They have a sensory issue, so like they can't.
Yeah. So that didn't work out well, and I was like, all right, let me just get one laugh in. So I did a joke I usually do, and that got a chuckle, and then I got off stage. So my girlfriend got to see me bomb. I lose the competition. I go to the bathroom, and I find a flask with an American flag design in the bathroom. And I was like, I'm taking this. This is mine now. I don't drink what's inside. I wash it out. But I was like, I'm an alcoholic after tonight.
Dude, no.
You just go ahead and solidify it with the official alcoholic badge, which is a flask.
Man, I can just somebody.
So, yeah, I have it somewhere.
Did anybody like ask about it? I can just imagine some tall, angry old white guy so mad. He's got a pair of Wranglers on that have a pocket that fit that flask perfect. You know, it's got like the stain of where that flask has been for years.
That's fair. Maybe.
It went to Vietnam with him.
He's like, and then he's just drinking it to the guitar low. No one really asked for it. I just grabbed it. I was like, I thought about turning it in. I usually turn in lost items, but I thought if you're an alcoholic who forgot your flask in a bathroom in the first place, not to say you deserve it to be taken, but I think, the American way is finders keepers. So I just,
like this flask is like the one ring. Like if he had it for so long and he left it there that night, and you just happen to go in, it's like, dude, it was passing to the next owner, man. It probably whispers at you at night. Like,
it fits in my pocket so well. And
honestly, if there's ever a time you need a flask, it's after a bad bomb, especially when your girl comes up and watches. It's like, dude. Fuck.
Oh, man.
Yeah. On the way back, she comforted me. So,
congratulations on a little roadhead. Hell yeah.
No, yeah, it was really nice.
After bombing, too. She's a keeper, dude.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah. So every time I think about that, I just think about that bomb when I pull out that flask. It's like, go away, memories.
Dude, when I bomb and Kara's with me, I have to give her roadhead while I drive. It's hard, but I deserve it.
It was like, I did bomb.
I'm a bad boy. Edrick, what if your exes wrote a 1-star review of you? What would it say?
1-star review. Let's see. A 1-star. During sex, he kept asking if I was okay, and I kept saying I was fine. So that was a turnoff. The froyo place was a very awkward day. I don't know why he would take me there and not talk about anything but anime.
It just says I don't like him in Japanese.
Yeah. This dude keeps eating burgers and tacos constantly. This guy's a pig. He keeps asking me if I have heartburn medicine. I don't appreciate that. I think there was one girl who was like legit telling me to like I'm worried about you. I think that like helped me. That was part of the wave of like gaining 80. It was like after her, she was like, I lost so much. And then let's see. It's probably always like a nervousness thing. I'm always like nervous and like very self-conscious around people I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And then whoever they liked, if there was a person they even liked, I crush all chances by becoming somebody else as soon as I find out they like me. So like if they like me for being goofy and like I find out they like me, I'm just like, oh, so they like me. And I'm just
start wearing suits.
Back to my place, make some sushi, and then nothing.
You become Eric Cartman. Interesting.
Don't mind my mom, she's a bitch. But yeah, I just like get too nervous initially, and then but yeah, my girlfriend was cool. She kind of liked that dorky side, and then she regrets that I got more confident because then I got weirder, and apparently that made her weirder. But just because we burp at each other doesn't mean we're weird. It's just that's our love language. Okay,
right.
So I don't know.
Just more comfortable.
What is a conspiracy theory that you believe? Even if it's like you just low key believe it just for fun, but like, how about this? What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory. I'm not so big on conspiracies. There are some that I truly enjoy. I would say, so like when I dive into conspiracy theories, I try not to think, oh, this might be 100% true. The one that is the most interesting to me, I'm not saying it's true, but it would be dope if it was that the moon landing was fake.
That's a fun one. That's a really fun one.
That's the dopest one. Not because of the fact that the government lied to the American people, but the fact that the entertainment industry got to such a point at such an early time where they can convince people that we were on the moon. And that's how, like, what if that led to Marvel space battles? You know, it's like without that technology, we wouldn't be having the amazing movies we have now. I honestly hope to God that the moon landing was fake, because space is scary anyway. I'd rather we don't need to be out there. Just
space is hella scary.
Yeah. There's no reason to be there, especially if aliens are there. I like this a lot, that the moon landing led to great cinema. Yes. I really like that a lot. One of my conspiracy theories is, have you seen the documentary Planet Earth?
Yes.
It was like early 2000s. It was like one of the, like a groundbreaking HD documentary done by, I think, like Animal Planet. And it's all about all the animals. And they do this segment on the birds of paradise, where the birds are dancing, and it's like first ever footage. It's David Attenborough. The first ever footage of these beautiful birds of paradise dancing in front of each other. And it looks, dude, there's like a part of it that looks CG. Like it looks computer generated. And I like had a theory. I was getting really high at the time. And I had a theory. I was like, dude, they're testing out to see if they can trick us in by putting it in a documentary. This shit is CGI. There's no way there's birds out there that do this crazy shit. And it didn't look real. It, like, the colors looked weird, especially the black. There's this black bird. Nothing against blackbirds, but it like does this thing where it becomes this like oval, and it has these dots on it, and the way it's moving, the way the background behind it is like, there's something off about it.
I feel like I know what bird you're talking about. It like flares up kind of, and then like it's blue. I think
it's black, but it's got like big bright sections of blue that are like neon blue. And it's like great, and it's got like white around the borders of it too, and it looks like it's glowing the way the feathers reflect the light. And the female's like, oh damn, shut.
That's a sexy ass bird.
And then there's another one that shows up, so then the two are like clicking at each other and having this battle, and it doesn't look real.
The one it's funny you bring that up, because I watched one, and I don't know if it's Planet Earth, but it's another one, and it's about birds dancing to get down. And there's this one species of bird that'll show up with like 4 of his homies, and they have like a choreographed dance that they do, and his boys are like background dancers for him. And then when the chick says yes, she'll hook up with him, he'll now be a background dancer for one of his homies. And then they like swap partners like that to go pick up chicks. And I was like, man, like
I need better friends.
Yeah. Like none of my friends would dance for me.
No, absolutely not.
To get laid. Like none of them.
That's so funny.
Edrick,
I
was gonna say, how long have you been doing stand-up? I've
been doing stand-up, was 2025, about 4.5 years now. I started in 2020, October.
Wow.
I started during COVID. It was a really tumultuous time, and all these information coming out about what was going on. A lot of people mad about a lot of different things, and I legit didn't know what was going to happen. I had this weird feeling of like, all right, things may come to an end in general. So I just thought, well, if it was going to happen, let's do what we always wanted to do and try stand-up. So I just found this, like, there's this little bar called Old Town here in Fort Smith that had an open mic, mixed media. So people mostly played guitars and sang. But I was the only one who like did anything spoken that night. There was like 5 people, half of them were staff. But I got a laugh in, and I was obsessed with it. So
dude! Your first open mic, you were the only comic on the show.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Yeah. And then I met everybody in River Valley Comics at another open mic like a week later. And then just kind of kept going. But I think the set that I did, that first set, was just a list of things you could call your butthole besides butthole.
Brilliant.
What a great premise.
Yeah, I categorized it too. It was like food related, animal related, miscellaneous.
We're at record COVID deaths tonight, but I got a mission.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out in public. Did you have to wear masks still? Were people still wearing masks at that point?
I wore a mask in. Everybody there was kind of cool. I still wiped like the mic down and everything.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's Arkansas. People were kind of lackadaisical.
Yeah, they were
Right.
like, "Fuck it, it ain't real. It ain't real anyway." And he's
It's
clearly
just a sniffle. It's just a flu. I get that every year.
he's Chinese. He's used to it.
He probably made it. But yeah, I think I don't remember all of them, but my favorite one was the mahogany slide.
The mahogany slide.
Oh,
It was really fancy.
that's a great like gamer tag.
Yeah.
The mahogany slide. It needs a real varnish. You know what I mean?
That's what you should have told that chick at the froyo. Like, hey, I'm gonna lick your mahogany slide. She's like, what?
It sounds like a really good little burger. Like mahogany sliders.
Mahogany slide. It's like mesquite and bacon. But yeah.
Edrick, the last question that I have for you is, what is the most trivial hill that you will die on?
The most trivial hill, like I have a stance on something that I don't care what's going to happen. I will stick to this no matter what.
Yes.
And maybe it's controversial. Maybe people don't agree with you, or maybe everyone does agree with you.
A hill I would die on. I guess I feel very strongly about not caring about anything. Like
Okay.
I guess that's a hill to die on.
You're very
It's
serious about not caring.
Yeah, I'm very serious about like just chill out. It's like, why are you so stressed about like, or like argue? Like, I'm very passive. I'm such a pacifist. I like if it doesn't have to come to it, I'd rather not go for blows. Even an argument, I try to avoid conflict at all times. You know, if it's something that I could do to just resolve the situation, I will try, even if it doesn't involve me. That being said, if that doesn't work out, I do not care. If we're still fighting, that's fine. You will feel angry about it. That's the thing, I think. Be okay with things not being okay. Like, if people are going to be mad at you, let them. Like, you probably deserve it for some reason. You know, like.
And at the end of the day, the news cycle's so short anyway. They're going to be upset about something somebody else said the next day. Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah,
just be
that's
yourself. Just chill out and be yourself. I love that. That's great advice.
Let me ask you something, though. Let me ask you something. Is your girlfriend the same way?
My girlfriend?
Yeah. Is she very, like...
No.
It's everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I think
no.
everything. And the fact that I don't stress out stresses her out more.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, oh my god, yeah, that stresses. Yeah. Wow, I don't know how she puts up with me. I didn't think about that. I think this attitude though has stressed other people out in my life before.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just like, you're on 2 donuts on your car. Aren't you going to do anything? Like, it'll be fine. I can still go on the interstate. I'll just go 5 miles slower. It'll be okay.
They sell them by the dozen, and I know this Cambodian chick.
Boo.
That's pretty good. She had to test me back, but
That was a callback in a podcast. We did it,
I like
dude.
that. I like that.
Edrick, do you have any shows you'd like to hype up or anything coming up that you'd like the listeners to know about before we get out of here?
Let's see. The most recent show I have right now is I'm going to be doing a Don't Tell comedy show in Fayetteville on Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
the location is going to be at a divorce court, so ironic. I know.
Is
that
it
really?
really?
No, that'd be so cool.
Oh, you got me.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, you got
Or
me.
is that a comedy show?
Yeah, that's great.
I would 1,000% go to that show.
Yeah, dude, that's funny as shit.
That'd be so cool. Just like there's a comedian is at the stand.
I was like, how did they get that approved?
That'd be so cool. I don't know the location yet. I'll find out later.
Yeah.
So I'll let people know according. And then we have a show at the 22nd here in Fort Smith at the Maddox Tap Bar place. I forgot what the Maddox place. Yeah, the Maddox Bar and Tap. That's what it was. Not Tap and Bar. That sounds weird. That sounds like a UFC mood. Get him in the bar. Tap out. Okay. And then I think there's a show that we have in March, but forget about that. Just go to those two. That's the ones I'll be.
Fuck yeah. And don't forget to come out to North Little Rock at the Joint on February 6th to watch.
No, yeah, we have that. I figured y'all would be. We'd be. That's the thing. This is
of course. Yeah.
Right.
We'll plug that for you. Yeah. We're talking about your shows in your area. Anyone that knows you can get out there. Check out Edrick on River Valley Comics. You guys are doing the Lord's work out in the River Valley, bringing very funny people, creating very funny people, and it's good.
The Lord is doing His own work by giving us constant floods, but that's okay. That's fine. that's His own work. I couldn't possibly even try to do that myself. But yeah, I'm very excited for this roast. I've been watching some of the previous podcasts, trying to dig up dirt on some of these guys. So. I'm sure I have plenty of this. I'm very interesting to see what people do with any of this. But yeah, I think this show concept that you guys have, it's very cool. The fact that there's a roast battle and there's a podcast so that the people in the roast can get information to help with the writing without being awkward. And Chase is cool for hitting people up. But I'm very awkward. I'd rather just be a voyeur and watch podcasts. Just
we just
feel like I'm spying on them. When you lose your virginity, you suck.
You shit your pants. Yes.
Like and follow.
We just got to figure out a way to get people besides the comics to watch it.
But I think this is a cool way to integrate.
Share it with your homies.
I think this is a very cool way to integrate both the social media escape and also live shows. So thank you guys again for having me on.
Dude, thank you so much for being on it.
Thank you so much.
And
Edrick.
Good luck to you. We'll see you on the 6th, man. Have a wonderful night.
I'm going to get shot.